When looking at exponents, we always are taking a look at our base number and then how many times I'm multiplying it by itself. So for our first one, I have 2 times 2 times 2. So I see my base number 2 3 times. So it's not the same thing as 2 times 3. We're doing 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8. The next one is 2 times 2 to get me 4, and then 2, which is just 2. Now, when we get to 2 to the 0 power, a lot of people think it's just 0 because we see a 2 0 times, but here's the catch. We have a pattern going on here, and from 8 to 4, we're halving. From 4 to 2, we're halving again, so we're just dividing by 2 each time. So then technically following that pattern, if I divide by 2, I should get a 1 here. And that would mean that in the beginning of all of these numbers, we have a 1 that we're multiplying by. And yes, we're losing a 2 each time, but we still have that 1 there. So that's something that we don't always write in because we don't need it. Anything times 1, it's just itself. But that's what makes sense for here. And that's how that works for 2 to the 0. It is just 1. When it comes to 2 to the negative 1, whenever you have a negative exponent, you are going to move the number into the denominator and raise it to a positive power, 1 over 2 to the 1. So that becomes 1 over 2. And that makes sense again because we're taking this number and we're dividing by 2. So the next one, we'd flip it into the denominator and raise it to a positive power. So that becomes 1 over 4. Again, we are dividing by 2. And the last one, 1 over 2 to the positive 3 now because we flipped it, gets us 1 over 8 as expected because we're dividing by 2. So this is something that you can always do is to look for patterns in math because math is all about patterns. And if you can find a pattern that works, then that can help you to find your missing numbers like these down here.